Greetings. How's it going? You're probably wondering where's part 4 of the website tour video. It is coming. I'm just taking a bit of a break because, quite frankly, they are absolute hell to edit. You may be thinking, oh, well, it's just a capture, isn't it? Just a screen cap? Well, yeah, it is. And yeah, it's just a voiceover, which I record while I'm doing the screen cap, so that part's easy. The hard part, well, not so much hard, it's easy, but it's time-consuming. The time-consuming part is doing all the panning and zooming and stuff, because I have to do all that manually in the editing process, and it just takes forever, because I gotta listen to it, and I gotta time it, and it's, yeah, anyway. Part 4 is coming. You'll see it very soon. This time around, however, I thought I'd take a little break to give you a DVD update. Okay, so I'm going to try not to ramble too much. Let's start off with a couple that Annetta got. First off, she got Casanova. I'm trying to get without too many reflections. There we go. That's sort of Casanova, starring Doctor Who number 10, David Tennant. This, of course, is the story of the world's greatest lover. There's been numerous adaptations of this story over the years. This particular one is written by Russell T Davies, who's the guy responsible for the new series of Doctor Who, writer and producer, and basically the guy who brought it back on to our airwaves. And this was the first thing he did that I'm aware of, anyway, with David Tennant. And I believe what sort of gave him the idea to put him in the role of Doctor Who as well, or at least put him on Russell T Davies' radar. Anyway, Masterpiece Theatre Masterpiece Theatre miniseries, BBC production, really good. So I've heard. We haven't watched it yet. Anyway, Annetta loves David Tennant. She also loves Christopher Eccleston. I think she just loves all the actors who've ever played the Doctor. She loves a lot of the older ones too, and yeah. So anyway, this was basically a must-buy for her. So we saw it in the local store, and she snapped it up. And another one that Annetta got that I'm really jealous of. This is putting my Blu-ray collection to shame. As many of you probably are aware, the James Bond films have once again been getting the re-release treatment on DVD, and for the first time ever, they're being made available on Blu-ray. So we were in Future Shop the other day and saw that not only did they have all the Blu-ray editions, but exclusive Steelbook editions of all the ones that have been released so far. So Netta picked up Live and Let Die, which is Roger Moore's first outing. We had a bit of a debate, because, of course, I want all the James Bond movies. And she said, well, I want all the James Bond movies. So we came to a concession, essentially, where I'm going to get all the Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan ones. She's going to get all the Roger Moore and Daniel Craig ones. And then I'll probably end up getting the two Timothy Dalton ones and the George Lazenby one as well, just because I don't think she cares about those too much. So anyway, between the two of us, we'll have the whole collection. I don't know if we're going to be able to get them all in the Steelbook editions, but we're definitely going to get them all on Blu-ray as they come out. So we were kind of holding off. We wanted to get those boxed sets that came out a couple years ago that had all the Bond films in in 4 volumes. We were kind of putting it off. I was putting it off for a couple reasons. I mean, first off, they're a little expensive. They're like $80 a set, or they've come down in price and they've come on sale from time to time. But on average, they're about $70 or $80 a set. And the other thing that bugged me about them is they're all out of order. Like, I'd really like to see the Bond movies in the order they were released, so you can see how the series evolved over the years, you know? I mean, yeah, of course, there's really not a big continuity between them. Yeah, a couple of them, maybe, but for the most part, there really isn't much of a continuity to them. But it's nice to see how the series evolved and changed with the times and so forth over the years. So I really wanted to get them in order. So basically, and they've even been putting out the Blu-ray ones in a boxed set. Once again, completely out of sequence. So really, the only way you can ever have them in the proper order is if you buy them all individually. So for now, the Blu-ray edition looks like the best way to go. And absolutely loaded with special features. Let's see if we can get some focus happening here. There we go. See, look at all that. Look at all the special features on there. I used to have a few of the Bond films from, well, a couple of DVD releases ago, and as far as I can tell, they've got pretty much everything that's been available previously, and a little bit more as well, so it's pretty cool. I see this one actually has audio commentary with Roger Moore. This actually has 3 commentaries on it. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure the old editions didn't have 3 commentaries, so obviously some new stuff in the Blu-ray editions worth checking out. I don't know how they compare to the current DVD editions because, well, I didn't look at them. And then finally, one that I've been looking forward to for a long time. It was one of the first sort of really racy television cartoons. Some might argue that Beavis and Butthead was first, and technically, yes, Beavis and Butthead did come first, chronologically, but Beavis and Butthead was still more sort of adolescent humor. This was the first, like, really, you know, meant for adults cartoon that I'm aware of from that era. Actually, there was a lot that came out around the same time, but this was the first really sort of racy humor one. What am I talking about? Duckman. I mentioned this actually in my recent, one of the website tour videos where I was looking at showing you the cartoons for grown-ups section of my web store, and this is right at the top because I think it's worthy of note. Features Jason Alexander, yes, George Costanza, as the voice of the lead character. He's Private Dick and Family Man, and it's basically just the story of his life and how his life is absolute hell, and it is absolutely hilarious. It is such a good show, and it's all done in this like quirky sort of alternative art style that's reminiscent, to me anyway, it was reminiscent of like Roger Crumb's old comic books and stuff like that. It's a very gritty kind of look to the art style, which I really like. Annette and I are big fans of a lot of the experimental animated films of the 70s and 80s, a lot of stuff that Ralph Bakshi did, you know, rock and roll and heavy metal and stuff like that. And so this series fits right in with all of those quite nicely. It's like a series done in that style, and it's really good stuff. So if you're looking for a good, you know, a little more adult cartoon, that's definitely not for the kiddies, because a lot of the jokes are about sex, and there is, of course, the obligatory fart jokes that you always find in adult humor. But there's a lot of really good stuff in here, and it's just an incredibly funny series. And they, after being in like DVD release obscurity for the longest time, and people were wondering if it was ever even going to come out, they have just rushed this thing out to market. Like, this set just came out last month, I believe, or earlier. I think it was earlier this month, actually. And they've already set the second volume on the schedule. You can actually pre-order it through Amazon or through my web store. And it's got the remainder of the series. There's 70 episodes total. This set contains the first 22, and then the second set contains the remaining 48. So this is a 3-disc set. I'll give you a look at the covers here. So you got discs 1 and 2, and disc 3. And then inside, they didn't do very colorful labels for them. They're just basically silver labels, and then underneath you got Duckman. That's from an episode where he got a beak job because he was concerned that the ladies didn't like him because his bill was too small. Pretty transparent allegory there, isn't it? And then here we have disc 3. There we go. So, you know, nothing too spectacular packaging-wise. There are some good extras on here. There's a documentary called "What the Hell Are You Staring At?" which is basically a look behind the scenes at the making of the show. There's this feature I call "Designing Duckman," which features Everett Peck, who was the guy who designed the characters and such, basically from a comic book that he was working on. There's the 6 Degrees of Duckman, which are basically just a limited interactive character profile thing. And then the pilot episode has commentary by Everett Peck and Jason Alexander himself, where they talk about the show and stuff like that. So, really good set, and I highly recommend it. And that's it for the DVD update. So, what can you look forward to next? Well, obviously part 4 of the website tour. And some of you who've been reading the comments in my Dead Space videos will have a little insight into something else I'm working on. I'll let you do the work for yourself. I'm not going to do the work for you. There you go. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just go read all the comments for all 6 Dead Space videos, and then you should have some idea of what I'm talking about. So there. I don't, you know, I'm not going to do it all for you. You guys aren't incompetent. You can read comments. Come on. Beyond that, I do have something planned, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But it will be before Christmas, whatever it is. See, this way I can basically get out of whatever it is if I decide not to do it in the end and do something else and say, oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Nondescript promises, eh? No. Generally, I prefer not to promise that I'm going to do anything on my channel unless I'm actually going to do it. So I am working on something that I think all my DVD review fans will enjoy, and but I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Anyway, that's it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.